The Penguin, the much anticipated follow-up to The Batman. And it took what felt like forever. Thank you, pandemic. And writer's strike, actor strike, a lot of stuff happened. But it's finally here, finally over. The season has ended. And it is honestly everything I thought it was going to be. And that is Oswald Cobb, not Cobblepot, changing it up a little bit, trying to be the new kingpin of Gotham. He wants to be the top dog in crime in Gotham. And he does that by being the Penguin and just kind of screwing with both the Falcones and the Mironis. Now, the Falcones we met in the Batman, or at the very least, Carmine Falcone. Here we meet pretty much the entire family, including Alberto, which at this point the show is over. I was sick, so I couldn't record. Had had no voice. So at this point, you've watched it, or you're not gonna watch it. So this is gonna include some spoilers, obviously. But it includes Alberto Falcone, who in The Long Halloween is the holiday killer. So when the Penguin kills him in the first episode, it's like, holy shit. But we meet a number of other members of the family as well, including Sophia, known as the Hangman, played by Cristin Milioti, and oh my god, she is amazing. Just everything she does to play this character as Sophia, who in the comics is this big hulk of a woman. She just does it so well. She has spent some time in Arkham, and we actually get an Arkham-centric episode of her time in the insane asylum, where we meet another Batman villain, Magpie, which was really, really cool. But of course, she blink and she's gone. But that kind of made me really, really want the Arkham series that they were planning and then ultimately canceled. It gave us a taste of it, and I want more. We also get some backstory of Oswald Cobb, the Penguin, and how he's responsible for the death of his brothers. And it's that whole scene, that whole sequence, it's like, holy shit. Like, that is dark. And his mother knows the whole time, which is even crazier. And Penguin has just convinced himself so much that he had nothing to do with it, that he will never admit what he did. And that tells you exactly who the Penguin is. And Colin Farrell just plays it perfectly. We're not introduced to too many of Batman's villains in this, but one is the patriarch of the Maroni family, Sal Maroni, played by Clancy Brown, funny enough, the voice of Mr. Krabs. And goddamn, he does it so well. I sometimes forget how good of an actor Clancy Brown really is, and then something like this comes out, and he plays just a ruthless crime lord, and it's like, oh man, Clancy is so good. And that's pretty much it in terms of like major Batman villains that we're introduced to. It's just Sal, Sophia, teeny tiny bit of Magpie, and even then Magpie's not really a major villain. She's really like a C or D lister. And that's okay, because this is a show concentrating on the Penguin and his journey to become the kingpin of crime in Gotham. And this is a story about Sophia trying to make a name for herself outside of the Falcone name. She even goes by her maiden name, or her mother's maiden name, Gigante, about halfway, 3/4 of the way through. And so she's trying to make a name for herself, and she's trying to just get the hell out of here. At the same time, this is a story about them. So there was no need for other villains. Could it have used an appearance from Batman? Maybe. Only because there's a gang war going on. There's a giant explosion in the middle of the streets. And, a line in the beginning of the movie, The Batman, Bruce even says, I can't be everywhere at once. And that's true. But there's a giant explosion in the middle of the street that kills so many people. And the bat signal only goes off the final scene of the show. So that's a little weird. So I kind of hope they explain why he was gone like this entire time in the Batman Part 2. But ultimately, the Penguin, it's dramatic, it's tense, it's thrilling, it's beautifully acted from Colin Farrell, from Cristin Milioti, from Sal Maroni, from Clancy Brown, Mark Strong cameos as a younger Carmine Falcone, and he is great. It's just everything about this show, the visuals, the effects, everything about it. The shock ending, like, I was not expecting the Penguin to kill who he killed. That shocked me. And it's hard to shock me. But just everything about the Penguin just continues. Just the beauty that is the world, the dark beauty that is the world of the Batman. And I need more of this world. Not just the Batman Part 2. Like, I want more shows. Like, I want to see more side characters. Like the Arkham show, which got canceled. The GCPD show that got canceled. Like, to be able to build more out of this world would just make it that much better. But the Penguin, so good. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. I give the Penguin an A+.
Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get notified when more reviews go live. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.